Let's yap.
But
Let's
before we
do
get
it.
started, everybody, welcome to the End Goal Podcast. This is my show where I like to have meaningful conversations with people on topics that I find interesting and or educative. Today we have Andy of Dallas, Andy Pop Music. He
What?
is one of my favorite people. I'm taking that tagline from Trevor Noah. Um, but this guy, he was on the podcast last year. Go back to listen to that one if you missed that episode. He's back again. And honestly, we're just here to talk.
Let's talk.
We're
Let's
just here to
chat.
talk. It could go anywhere from me asking him about how his music's going to then me asking him about what his 2026 goals are to me maybe asking about what his biggest fear in life is. Who knows? I might not even ask that question or I might not ask any of those three. And it
Whoa.
might be something else. And I think that's exciting. Andy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me on again. Second year. Let's go.
Let's go.
Um, I feel like a lot has changed for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to talk about it and just dive in.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah,
let's 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 start with the most recent changes. So you change your IG account
I did.
from Andy U Music to Andy Pop Music.
Yes. Spelling change.
Spelling change as well. I saw that too. And then I
Yeah.
went to the account, and a lot of the previous stuff is also gone. And you're essentially
Oh,
like look like you like restarted it.
yes. I'm rebranding.
I see.
I think so. I've been doing music since 2018,
Mm-hmm.
so 8 years now, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of that time was me trying to figure out what I want to do in music. And I think with this rebrand, everything has really kind of fallen into place. I feel very organized and structured.
Yeah.
I feel very like intentional with the music I'm making and all that stuff. Because it used to be like I would make whatever felt good at the time, which is
Mm-hmm.
fine, which is
Mm-hmm.
awesome, but it wasn't really coherent. The brand didn't feel very strong because it's kind of like Andy kind of makes like all kinds of stuff, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure if I love all of it or anything like that. So I think with this new rebrand, the sound, the style of writing, everything is kind of like, okay, I understand where the box is now after 7 years of experimenting. So
Mm.
that's that rebrand.
Do you ever feel that 7 years was too long, or do you feel like that's just how this is how much time you needed, and then it just does something else happen, and you wanted to rebrand? Do you ever think like the time it's taking is too long?
No, I try not to. I mean, there's well, I'll say like I tend to bias me feeling positive versus me achieving things faster.
Mm.
So like in a world I can definitely see like um if I had more clarity when I was younger and I started doing music stuff, I probably could have achieved something sooner, but that then makes me not feel good.
Right.
It
Right.
feels bad to think about me having potentially quote unquote like wasted time or anything like that. So I don't view my life like that at all. The way I usually live is the time it takes to do something has all been necessary for me to gain clarity and stability and confidence into moving forward.
Mhm.
So the 7 years to me, while I guess 7 years is a long time, but the way I perceive it is really not.
Mhm.
I think maybe the last time we talked on the pod was I was explaining my life kind of in sections of 4 years.
Mhm.
That's usually how long it takes me to start something brand new and get decent enough at it to then feel adequate.
Yeah.
But for dance and music, those are the first two things in my life prior or after being 18 years old that have taken more than 4 years. And I don't mean
Mm.
taken more than 4 years, but I've chosen to do them for more than 4 years.
Right.
If it was like, sports like soccer, baseball, or like wrestling, or like whatever, like at the 4 year mark, I was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. And I've gotten pretty good at it, but like I don't see myself taking it any further. For
Mhm.
dance and music, that's not the case. I'm still really enjoying my time here. So, to answer your question short, no.
Not at all.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that. Yeah, it doesn't feel anything like that.
Interesting. So, okay, so rebrand. Did you do it solo or did you have help?
By solo, I mean I obviously paid people to help me.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's considered solo.
But no, but like so like the idea wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna like hire a company to help me with the rebrand in terms of like the colors and the like the themes and
Oh,
all that stuff. That was all you. And then once you had the ideas and the theme and the flow, you paid like people to help you with like pictures or like other things like that.
so shout out John Barton. Um, he is a friend of my brother's, so we got in contact with each other, and he's a branding specialist.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was meeting with him, I got to tell him about my vision and the soundscape and how I wanted to kind of feel. I remember the three words we used was like playful, inclusive, and like fun or like
Yeah.
high energy, I think.
Yeah.
So with that color palette, in terms of feeling, he was able to produce an actual color palette, which I really, really needed help on because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we probably talked about it before, but I'm not great with colors. I'm like red green colorblind, so it's difficult for me to pinpoint shades and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So he did a phenomenal job on that. He helped me with the branding, colors, and even helped me develop a Wix website,
Mm-hmm.
which is about to launch.
Hell yeah.
Yes, he helped me
Yes.
even develop some base level merch
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So big shout out to him. He did a lot of help for me. And then shout out to Ramon Grande for all the amazing headshots and pictures
Mm-hmm.
and all that as well.
Awesome. Okay, love that. So it's like it was very much a professional decision to rebrand. I love that. I'm looking forward to it so much. What can we expect in terms of music?
Yeah, so my goals for 2026, I want to release four small projects, each with like maximum 5 songs.
So not an EP, but not a full album?
I guess it's an EP.
I guess okay, yeah, sure.
I don't know what those categories actually are, but
Same. That's kind of
little,
why I
just
posed the question. I thought you
yeah.
knew.
So I for sure, I don't think it's an album. It's not an LP. It's not an album. So I guess we can call it an EP,
Mhm.
because that's the only option I can think of to
Mhm.
call it. So four EPs, with like maximum 5 songs each,
Mhm.
and what I want to do with it this year is play with the idea of world building.
Mhm.
So, the 5 songs that I have right now are very much within this playful, almost like childlike, fun energy
Mhm.
branding thing that's like Andy pop right now.
Yeah.
And creating. So I actually have a little thing right here. Like they're really cute titles. Like so, the project I have tentatively is called Pods and Peas.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just this idea of companionship, love, and then Pods and Peas just felt very like childish, but in a
Yeah.
cute way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I like it.
it just plays with that idea, and then wanting to do some more world building is like each song has its own theme. The project has a theme, and I'm wanting to create live shows and merch that all kind of tie into either the songs individually or the project as a whole.
Mhm.
So, for example, like I don't know, there's a I have a song called like Dream Painting or whatever,
Mhm.
right? So then Dream Painting would have its own merchandise, its own kind of colorscape, whatever that is, and
Yeah.
then the project as a whole would have its own as well.
Mhm.
Playing with the idea of like limited drops
Right.
merch, maybe making like 100 pieces per, and then just once it's done, it's done.
Mhm.
Just to give people a chance to dive into that world, and then
Mhm.
for the other three projects, I want to go very different routes. It would still be the same color scheme and all that, but it's a different sonic approach.
Okay.
Um, and this is why it's so important for me to have clarity because when I say this out loud, it sounds like the same mistakes that I've been making in the past where, the genre and all that kind of bounces too much. But I
Mhm.
understand my boundaries a lot more now to where I can play with the sounds that I'm using, but it still maintains the brand well and it doesn't stray too far.
Mm.
Um, it just kind of bends it a little versus
Yeah.
completely just going left field.
Mhm.
So I'm excited. I don't know. I have a whiteboard right here next to me, and it has one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight different categories that
Wow.
I try to like place my songs into as I'm creating intentionally, so I can see kind of what needs a little bit more development. when moving forward.
Well, how often do you look at that whiteboard?
I try my best to look at it all the time
Okay.
because the reason why I have a whiteboard and have it be so open and just easy for me to look at is because I was having a hard time remembering all the things that I was trying to make,
Mm-hmm.
um, like project wise in my
Yeah.
head. So, yeah, I mean, I look at it every single day. I
Okay.
like, and I'm updating it all the time.
I need more people to force me to get a whiteboard. I used to have a whiteboard, but it was like a small one.
Yeah.
So it would just like get like just put anywhere and I would never look at it. And then I'd pick it up like 5 months later and be like, oh, alcohol, wet pad, rub off all the dried
Uh
marker and
huh.
stuff. Let me try using it again. And then it just gets left somewhere. And I never look at it again.
That's fair.
But I've been talking to you. You have a whiteboard. Apparently, Chisu has a whiteboard. He looked at the exact same direction you did too. I think that's weird. But would want like a big whiteboard too, just to like brain dump it and
Yes.
then look at it and say, "This is your brain. Clean it up."
I definitely use it in the same way. I also want to mention before I got a whiteboard, I was using post-it notes a lot.
Mm,
Because I feel like those are a lot easier to put at like eye level.
mm-hmm.
I mean, my whiteboard is like it's like a 4x6.
Yeah.
It's a huge whiteboard. Um, and it's not easy to like find a good place for it. But like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, like in my bathroom, like on my bathroom mirror, I have a post-it note, which is like motivational stuff. I have little notes here and here on my like desk setup that kind of help
Yeah.
me keep things in track. So
Yeah.
if not a whiteboard, maybe post-its and just like stick them to your, wherever you can see them.
We will see. We will find a way to remind me to keep doing the
Or just
things I
like
need to be
let me
doing.
you text me your address and I'll buy you a whiteboard and I'll send it to you.
It's funny because you're doing to me what I like to do to people is when I ask them, "Hey, when's your birthday?" And then they don't know that I'm planning a gift for that day
Mm.
when it comes up. But completely unrelated. Text me your birthday later. So um, I like that. I like this rebranding idea. I'm looking forward to the upcoming songs. Let me know when they drop, and I want to write a piece on them. I've been really enjoying Substack lately.
Oh
I've
my
been
gosh.
really
Yeah.
enjoying it. I did not realize I growing up I didn't like to write, so I always thought I was a bad writer. And my sister was like the writer of the family. She's in journalism now. She was just the writer of the family. So like
Cool.
comparatively, I was like, oh, I'm just not a good writer. Um, and over time, I found myself biased towards writing just in general. Whether it's I've always preferred writing down my notes physically versus taking them on doing them online,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
always preferred like writing on a whiteboard versus like putting it into my Notion or like notes tab or whatever it is. And last year I finally like privately I was like maybe I should try this. Not to be like hey I need to add one more thing to my entire ecosystem of content that I do,
Right.
but there's still like a missing part of what's in here that has never come out or that is just incapable of coming out. And that's like weekly me, my thoughts, what I'm learning, and that's getting out. Because these are podcasts, these are conversations we're having, whatever it is. I've really been enjoying writing. It's not like it's not a long process because I just wake up Friday morning and I type for like an hour. I clean it up a little bit and then I send it.
There you
And
go. Yeah.
when I heard people talking about it previously, I was like, I heard people say it's one of my favorite things to do during the like I look forward to the day that I sit down and I can just write my Substack and then that's all I do for the week. And I'm like, now I get it.
Yeah.
Beforehand, I was like, that can't be. You're just selling it. You're just selling it. And then I'm like, now I get it because it is nice to take a topic that you have recently been interested in and just like dissect it a little bit for yourself and for somebody else. You know, I
Yeah.
started this on October 17th, which is my birthday, and I was feeling really bad that day, and I was like, I'm
Mm.
just gonna start a Substack. So that day, every single week up until the end of the year, I typed up articles and released them, but I told nobody that I was even doing this. So they were always published, but nobody knew, which is kind of nice. And then January 1st, I was like, okay, I think I've enjoyed doing this enough that I want to continue doing it. And then I told everybody, hey, I have a Substack. Um, it's nice. It's fun. But let me know, and um, I would like to put it on there
Yeah,
if you
dude,
don't
that's
mind.
sick. Thank you. Also, are
Um,
you a Libra?
I am a Libra.
Oh, Slay. Okay,
I am.
cool.
Yeah, my entire family we're all October birthdays, literally.
Really?
Up and even like not just my individual mother, father, sister, but also my dad's brother, my uncle, and my grandmother. So it's
Whoa,
like a lot of just Octobers in the family.
dude. Do you feel like there's ever like clashing of personality since everyone's a Libra? Or what's the other half of October?
It's a great question. Why don't we do some live investigating into astrology signs? But no, growing up there were definitely clashes of personality. Usually just me and my father, but I think that was more of a virtue of two like males and just
Yeah,
the way we thought and the way we were versus also being Libras. But um, let's see here. After Libra, it is Scorpio, which is the bottom like week of October into November. So it's Libra
got it.
Scorpio.
Got it.
That's the extent to my knowledge about astrology.
Me too.
But um, yeah, I've enjoyed writing, and I think it's cool.
Dude, yeah, that's really awesome. And I'm glad that it's a source of like enjoyment for you. And I'm glad that it doesn't take a lot of time. I feel
Hmm.
like the some of the hardest things to balance are things that you enjoy but take up a lot of time.
Hmm.
So I'm glad it's able to like satisfy both of those things. That's really cool.
Yeah, I was very surprised. I thought I would spend more time on it, but it's like because all week I already record, edit, post, publish everything else. It's like I just get to live, and then I just told myself, I don't have a set time when I upload. I just try to do it on Friday, so
Hmm.
I can just wake up, and I usually have slow mornings, and so I would just sit on my bed and I would just in silence just type, and it's nice to like think through things and what topic do I want to talk about or things like that, and knowing that it's low risk, it is mainly for me and I enjoy it, and then sometimes I'll get like friends who DM me like I liked this one or whatever it is without me knowing that they read it, and like, hey, I liked this line was good, interesting topic, whatever it is. So I was like, okay, cool. um it's almost like sending your friend the thing, except mass. But then they also respond, which was also really cool.
Yeah.
Not something that I do often. So that was that was cool. We're at the beginning of February.
Yes, we
I
are.
had goals for January, and I can tell you right now, the goal that I set for myself of get this done by January 31st happened February 1st. So what I want to ask you is, do you have anything that you're looking forward to like accomplishing this year? We already talked about the music and the 4
Yeah.
projects and things like that, and I'm assuming a
Yeah.
lot of your energy is probably going to go into music. But I wanted to know from you, like, what is your process of kind of planning the year?
Cool. So I took my year in 1 month segments.
Mm,
So right here next to me, my partner Judy and I, we made uh, little 2026 bingo
cool.
cards. So the way I approached it is, yeah, trying to get one of these done a month.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Not trying to, getting one of them done a month.
Mm-hmm.
And what that really helps me do is, trying to accomplish 12 goals in a year feels very daunting to me. It feels like it's going to take a lot of time. It feels like it's overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
But this really helped me be like, oh, okay. Like, for example, my first goal of 2026 was to run a 5K.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember we made this on January 4th, and I ran that 5K on January 10th.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, there's nothing stopping me from accomplishing that goal that month
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not concerning myself with the other 11 goals.
Correct.
I'm just trying to hone in on that one. So
Mm-hmm.
that's been really cool.
Yeah.
It's been helping me a lot in terms of organizing and
Mm-hmm.
accomplishing. So, and that took me like whatever, how many days? 6 days
Yeah.
to accomplish. That was absolute hell.
Yeah.
That 5K was brutal, and
Yeah.
I got so sick. Um, so what happened was like when I ran it, I didn't check the weather for the day.
Mm,
It was 34, 36 degrees.
that's tough.
And we ran it outside at a
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
So I mean, I did prep for those 5 days prior, 6 days prior.
Yeah.
I was running, I
Yeah,
was
but how much can you prep
fueling.
in 6 days for a 5K?
I mean, a good amount.
Really?
I having not ran very much in the past couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
um, I ran like a mile the first time with like running and walking
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't able to sustain the whole like mile.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did like interval work,
Mm-hmm.
which was more intentional with timing and pace.
Mm-hmm.
And then by like the third day, I was able to run slowly, but the whole time without having to
Really?
stop. Then by the fourth day, I did like a rest day. Fifth day, I pushed the pace again without having to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then sixth day, which I believe was race day, we did it. So I was able to push my pace of a 1 miler to not have to stop. So then I went back to my slow pace of a 1 mile and was able to sustain it with a push
Mm-hmm.
for 3 miles instead of
Mm-hmm.
one. So I think it actually helped a lot, honestly.
Do you ever get like runner's itch?
What is that?
Okay. Wow. I'm so happy you never experienced it. Essentially, it is when your body starts itching after you start running, or when you start running after not having ever run, or after have taken a massive break from running.
Oh, it's like tingly, kind of itchy,
Tingly and
tingly.
itching, yeah.
No, I
That's
don't.
that's so, and maybe it's a virtue of how frequently you do dance and move your body to where maybe some movements just it's fine. I get runner's itch all the time because I just don't move like that anymore, and I don't really
Huh.
have a lot of cardiovascular movement. And so what'll happen is I'll run or jog, or if I try and just like randomly sprint one day without doing anything else, my
Okay,
legs will itch so much. And
that
what I
sucks.
learned was, not to get too technical, but essentially it's your the veins are like when you start running out of the blue, they
Oh,
like just immediately start expanding, and
oh,
that like freaks with the nerves in that area, and they start like your nerve starts like tingling, getting itchy, and getting like agitated. And I was like, that's because then eventually it does go away, but
right.
it always made me hate running because I wouldn't run. Then I would try running, get really itchy, get really frustrated as to why I'm itchy and I can't run, and then I'll stop running.
Dude, that sucks.
It's a
Runner's itch sounds
pain.
horrible.
But not all that to say, I don't plan to start running anyway yet. But I was
Oh my
just
god.
curious because nobody ever explained that to me ever in my life. I just thought I was
Yeah.
weird because I got itchy when I ran until I looked it up one day and I was like, this is
Oh,
why I
you've
got itchy
had
when I
it
ran.
like.
I've
Oh, okay, okay.
always like in 2020, the day that I actually looked it up was in 2021 when I went back home and lived at home during COVID. I started picking up running more because I was like, I want to get my cardiovascular endurance up.
Mhm.
All I was doing was just like lifting and calisthenics, and so I would run
Right,
around the
right.
neighborhood and stuff. And the first couple of days it was really hot. I would get really really itchy after, and it's only if I like push speed, which like
Yeah.
forces you to like your blood flow and your heart to pump faster. If I was just like jogging or walking, never an issue. So it's only when I
Oh,
was like trying to run and push pace, um, and then I think I did that for like a couple of months, and then I just stopped because I was like, I'm just bored of running. I never got runner's high, so I never got addicted. I never got the enjoyment of running ever.
that's. I feel like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I've only ran that one 5K,
Hmm.
and I don't know if you can get a runner's high after 1 mile.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to think back. I think I did feel pretty good after I ran that 5K. So I guess I had runner's high.
Hmm.
But it being so cold, like my lungs hurt because I was just
Ooh.
breathing cold air for
Hmm.
30. First of all, my 5K was slow,
Yeah.
super slow. It was a 28 or 29 minute 5K.
Hmm.
Um, I was proud of myself for not stopping. I ran the whole time. The route that we ran had both pavement and like gravel,
Hmm.
so that was a little interesting.
Yeah.
Um, Shouts out the Seahorse Skedaddle because that's what the event was. They did awards for overall times and also
Hmm.
like times per age group.
Hmm.
Um, the first place guy, he ran the 5K in 16 minutes or like
Wow.
18 minutes. insane, like a 6 minute mile thing. And then I was the second person to finish after him, and I was 29 minutes. So I got second place.
I saw that.
Yes, I got second place, but I was twice the speed or
Yeah,
half as slow. And I'm like,
that's so
yeah,
fun. I remember telling Ayushi, dude, Andy just ran a 5K and he got second place. She's like, oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, I didn't know he ran. I
yeah,
didn't
I did. I
I
had ran
didn't know
for
he was doing
6K.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was so yeah, I mean that's like the goals I have. So there's just a lot of different things on here that I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
accomplish 1 month at a time, and that's been really helping me just stay on
Yeah.
track and stay focused.
How do you well, before that, this really interesting thing that you said was like you made the goal on the 4th and then you completed the goal on the 10th.
Yeah.
And in those 5, 6 days in between, you were working towards set goal.
Yeah.
Have you ever been a procrastinator?
Yes, all the time.
Did
I'm
you
a I'm
feel
a
weird about I set this goal and then I immediately completed it? What now?
um no, I didn't think what now because I knew I had 11 more things to accomplish after that.
Mm,
So I was like, let me not. I think also just like a testament to me of like the things that I want to do don't take that long.
yeah,
But me thinking they take long makes them take longer.
yeah,
So
that's a
I'm
good
like,
point.
it even happens with like, I don't know, like if I'm prepping like a small stuff for the week, like, okay, I have classes later the day. Oh, it's gonna take me, 2 hours to do, so I have to budget some time, blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah. The whole time it would have taken me took me 30 minutes to like think about all that. I
Yeah,
could have been done in 30 minutes.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
think more and more I'm practicing this idea of like the things that I want to do don't take a long time. They're easy to do, they're fast to do. I don't have to trick myself into thinking that they're hard or they take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can accomplish them right now. So like that was the first kind of practice run for me being like, I want to run a 5K. I don't have to take 30 days to do it. Luckily, I already have some athletic ability, so I can accomplish it faster.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that also pushes me into be like, hey, you don't have to start from square one all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The things that you want to do, you can leverage your current skill set and you're not at base one. You're already at level 5. You can accomplish it faster and sooner with your skill set in less time, blah blah blah. So it's just like more belief in myself of what I'm capable of doing
Yeah,
versus being like, okay, I run a 5K. I don't know anything about running. Do I have the right shoes? How do I fuel properly? Blah blah. I'm like, these are 30-second Google searches away. Like I don't
yeah,
have to pretend like I need to go do a deep dive on what Brooks to buy.
yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm. Or like you don't have to be ready to start in a
yes,
sense,
dude.
right? Like
Yes.
on my to-do list today, I was like, okay, I need to like book a Spot Hero parking garage for me and Ayushi going to Philly this weekend. And I just put that on my list to do later. And then I was just sitting here before like and we were about to start, and I was like, I could just do it right
Do
now. I
right
have
now.
like
Yeah, yeah,
it's gonna
dude.
take less than 10
Yes.
minutes to do. I don't need to
Yes.
wait.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Um,
Totally.
I do
Um,
agree. It's like I think it's sometimes weird when I set go like here's what I need to do for the day, and then I'll look at that list and say, okay, now that I know what I have to do, which are these things that I wrote down, that past me wrote down, current me, what do you want to do? And it's none of those things. And I'm like,
mm,
what's going on? What do you mean I'm pushing off drinking my morning electrolyte and creatine water to like 4 p.m.? What do you mean I'm pushing off stretching for 30 minutes to like before I go to bed instead of doing it right now when I wake up? Both are valid, but like I could just do
yeah.
it now.
Yeah.
Once again I could just do it now, and it would I would do what I told myself I wanted to do, and then just those things get marked off the
And then it's
list.
done.
And then at the
Yeah,
end of
yeah.
the day, you're legitimately like, I have nothing else that I need to do because I did everything I needed to do.
Yes, it feels so good.
It feels good. It's like forgetting that it feels good to do the things that you're supposed to do,
Hmm.
right? Instead of like, there's a lot of times when I'll wake up, well, I'll the night before I'll do like my entire task list, and I'll wake up and my memory will be wiped. I can't remember the urgency or the like motivation or whatever I had last night. I can't remember that feeling and recreate it again in the morning to be like, this is why I want to do this right now. This is why last night I said I need to wake up and edit these videos so that I can start uploading them in the evening. And this morning I woke up and I didn't edit the videos that I wanted to upload in the evening. Instead, I did other things, which were also on the list, but I didn't do that one, you know?
Uh-huh.
So it's almost like forgetting why you said you wanted to do these things. But why
Mm.
does that? And I have to talk with myself like, why does that matter? Just do it. Past you said they wanted to do it. They're probably not wrong because they were annoyed by past
They
them not doing it.
yeah,
So they want future you to. It's very, very interesting. I
I agree.
procrastinate.
Procrastinating's okay. I also, because I love what you said earlier about like you don't have to be ready to do something to do
Mm-hmm.
it. And I want to just build on that more because I feel like that is part of it,
Mm-hmm.
not having to be ready. But then
Mm-hmm.
the other half that gets me hype and makes me want to be more proactive is that I am ready. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to say that like I'm fully prepared,
Yeah.
but that I am ready to take on and navigate those challenges that I incur with not knowing everything,
Mm-hmm.
but I am capable of
Mm-hmm.
navigating and accomplishing that goal
Right.
or that task. So
Yeah.
it's like you're not ready, but you're ready,
Right.
to
Right.
at least attempt. So,
Right. Exactly. And
um,
I agree. I like this. I like this. I hope whoever's listening to this, you don't procrastinate, and whatever you told yourself you have to do today, you're doing it today. Even as you're listening to us talking right now, you're doing what you
doing
said
something.
you needed to do today.
Yeah.
That is what I hope. I want to share this one quote with you. I read this article earlier today, and it was awesome.
Awesome.
But the quote was, so it was a Chris Williamson, his Substack article, and he quoted one of his other um, friends. And so the situation is just like, he was up at 1 a.m., like on his phone, messaging, emailing, sending voice notes, just coordinating stuff, and his wife got annoyed with him. And and the guy said, I have a brain that likes to solve problems. I'm just trying to give it good problems to solve.
Nice.
And I read that and I was like, can an event in my life?
Hmm.
Probably. Can an
Hmm.
event in my life? Because a lot of the times the things on my to-do list are the things that I'm like, I don't need to do this. Or my brain wants to do something else rather. Like my brain wants to solve a different problem. It wants to solve it. It doesn't want to solve the problem of my flexibility and my mobility. It wants to solve a different problem. It
Mm.
doesn't want to solve the problem of my health. It wants to solve the problem of my business, or it wants to solve the problem of my the problem of why isn't there like music playing in your ear right now, or like, the problem of like what book do I want to read, or what like all that kind of stuff, right? So it's like choosing problems you want to solve and putting that in your like vision line of sight thing.
That's awesome.
But I
Yeah,
thought that was really cool.
priority I
Yeah.
think is really important. I try to uh, rank the
Mm-hmm.
things that I need to do. Um, I mean, if it's for like, so I also do like mixes,
Mm-hmm.
right? For like dancing stuff. So if I have like class prep and mixes or like Andy pop stuff that I all kind of want to do in the same
Mm-hmm.
day, um, I love to just kind of rank them in terms of, okay, what's like the most important thing? What has like a time deadline?
Mm-hmm.
What doesn't? What could be
Right.
done tomorrow? So I just kind of
Right.
like balance it to where I'm still making great progress in terms of hitting my deadlines and all that stuff, and still keeping it flexible
Yeah.
too. So where
Yeah.
I don't feel like I think that's the part that makes me feel the best
Mm-hmm.
is if I do push something off to the next day, it was the lowest priority thing on my list, and it that had the room to be pushed
Mm-hmm.
versus like if I chose to do the opposite where something really really pivotal
Yeah.
is pushed, that would make me feel really bad. That would make me
Right.
feel horrible about it. To be like, okay, I missed a deadline or like I wasn't accountable,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't responsible, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, versus oh, I just wanted to vacuum my
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
That can take a back seat and be put to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Especially if I don't have as like heavy of a day. So
Yeah. Does it get done tomorrow? Or does it get pushed again?
it depends. I'm really, really adamant about not pushing,
Yeah.
period. But if it needs to be pushed 2, 3, 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
it's not gonna make me feel bad because I know that it was pushed for a higher precedent
Yeah.
task.
Yeah.
And knowing that I accomplished something quote unquote more important or of higher priority
Mm-hmm.
justifies me pushing.
Mm.
But I'm never busy enough to push it for like a long, long, long time. Like I think vacuuming, just because it was on my mind
Yeah.
today,
Yeah.
was initially supposed to be done like on
Yeah.
Wednesday or whatever, and it's Monday, and we got it done. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm chilling. But like, it took that because you know there were rehearsals, performances, there were gigs, there were things that um, I legitimately also like. By the way, like if I have the hour, I'll do it. Like it's not.
Mm.
But I really did not have the hour. It was
Yeah.
wild. Like I would get back home at like 1, and I would wake up at 4, and then I would go do XYZ prep. I'd pack gear. I would go out in the morning at like 7 a.m. I'd go blah 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 blah, and I'm like everything just kind of adds up. I go teach and then have a gig and then get back at like 1, and I'm like exhausted. I'm like I'm not vacuuming right now at 1 in the morning, so like
Mhm.
I'm sleep. So like it puts a lot of pride in me that even when I'm procrastinating, it's because I genuinely, and it makes me really happy to be that busy.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm like, dude, what a badass life to live where I can't even find 30 minutes to vacuum. But in a legitimate way
Right.
versus like, oh,
Of
like I don't
course.
have,
Of
I don't have
course.
time to vacuum, but like I did have time to vacuum. But
Yeah, for anybody listening at home, the other way that Andy is talking about is actually my life, where I work from home. So I leave the house never throughout the entire day. So I wake up at 7:30. I don't start work till 10, and so I have 2.5 hours to do literally everything that I plan to do for myself in the day. And there are days where I will sit on my bed with my protein bar and just watch YouTube videos until 9:50 when I have to get up and start working. So you guys can kind of see a comparison between somebody who does a good. I'm a probably point this way because I think when I release it's going to be on this side. This
oh,
guy,
feeling
this guy, um, this guy versus me. But no, I like that. I like that a lot. Every now and then I have to remind myself like you feel good when you get things done and you feel bad when you don't get things done. So instead of thinking about in the moment how feeling good, like how doing nothing feels good, think about like later on. You will not feel good after this. You will not feel good after sitting here for 45 minutes and like just rotting and watching this like YouTube video. You won't feel good because you never feel good after the 45 minutes. So take your 10 and then go do something. And I'm trying to be
Mm.
very intentional about like reminding myself these things because I'm very like in the moment kind of person. I've noticed I'm just very like whatever I want to do now happens now, but like
That's good.
it's never like whatever needs to be done now happens now. So whatever I want to do right now happens now. So that's not necessarily the best for
It, okay.
getting things done.
Yeah. Okay. I want to take a moment, Oris, to like to breathe some light and some positivity and some motivation, all that stuff into you, because I think it's so important that we don't fight who we are,
Mm-hmm.
but we work together with our minds and our bodies to be the best version of what we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to encourage you to take more enjoyment in that time where you're sitting in bed with that protein bar, because I know you work so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I know you work so hard. So that time is so important to have to do nothing. I never, ever, ever, ever make myself feel bad for taking time to relax,
Mm-hmm.
ever, because I know, I work hard and I know you work hard. So those times are so, so, so important. And oftentimes, if I take that break, I can come back even stronger
Yeah.
and accomplish more things. So it's like, dude, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Like taking breaks like that and taking the time for yourself and just like watching reels, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube reels all the time. I'm watching chess videos or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm snacking. Like that is the best time.
Yeah.
That's the time. And I'm proud of those moments too, just as I am proud of the moments when we're accomplishing a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Something interesting is I used to really like, to your point, reject this part of me that really prioritized rest and relaxation and essentially inertia um, before working versus like I need to get things done and then reward myself with the rest of relaxation. And I felt, I was really like trying to get this morning routine down and trying to get active first thing in the morning and get going and get going and get going. And I had a conversation with my cousin, and she was like, I think you're the type of person, one, who works in sprints and then has to relax and then works again in like short sprints and then relaxes. You're not a workhorse. You're not a mule in that sense. That can do like long hours. And then second, I think you're someone who needs to rest before they work, and then you rest first and then you work. And then when I kind of leaned into that in these mornings lately, that like I wake up and I try to wake up when I usually gets out the door, but she wakes up super early. Regardless, it's a very it's I've like really thought about how slow is my morning, how slow is it, and how slow is it going to be. Um, so it's like a lot of it has been just sitting in bed if I'm like editing or posting or whatever it is, and that's slow to me. Or it's like reading in the mornings or whatever it is, and I might take those full 2 hours in the morning to like just read or just edit or a combination of everything. But then the rest of the day, I'm like getting done, getting done, getting done, getting done. Like I'm working, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and then by the end of the day, I'm like, I kind of, I think I feel better. I don't know yet. It's been like it's been a recent like new thing, but
Yeah.
I feel like accepting that I'm a work sprint, works like work rest type of person, along with rest first in the mornings. It's kind of giving me a little bit of confidence. Even telling Ayushi like, hey, Saturday morning, 7:30, I'm awake, but I'm chilling in bed until like 9.
Yeah.
And then by 9 o'clock comes around. Okay, cool. I'm good. Let's go start doing chores. I can join you
Yes.
on chores and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
So yeah,
Dude,
that
that's
has been a
awesome.
recent occurrence of that. And I've also like stopped forcing myself to like, dude, you need to get up and get out and go for a walk. Bro, it's 6 degrees outside. We're not doing that. We know we're not doing that. So
Right.
we'll just go
Right.
moving whenever we move later in the day. It doesn't
Right.
have to be in the morning.
Right. Yes. I'm really, really happy that, and I hope that the 6-6 continues
Yeah.
for you because, um, from what I'm hearing, it's like okay, way less guilt, way less like, pressure and stress, and accomplishing more
Mm-hmm.
in understanding the moments when you are the most productive.
Right.
It's like I can just pack on all this stuff in this moment where I know I can handle all that work,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it's time for me to relax, I'm chilling
Yeah.
and giving yourself grace in that way too of like, oh, okay, it doesn't have to be done. I know this is so like like hypocritical of like what we were just talking about, right? It's like get it done, get it done. But it's like it sometimes you don't have to get it done right now. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean that you won't get it done at all.
Yeah.
But just understanding, okay, well, I'm not in my sprint mode right now.
Yeah.
So let me wait until I'm in my sprint mode in like an hour or so and then get it done then. Like it's I think it's so important with what you're doing right now is just like working in harmony with how you naturally are.
Mm-hmm. It's just
Um,
crazy that like not crazy, but I find it nice that it's things that people are explaining to me about who I am versus me coming up with it myself. Doing all this content and being the person I've been over the past few years, in the past half decade or so, is like I kept thinking I'm the one who has to know it all, and if there's changes in my body, it's because I brought them upon. If it's self-reflection, it's because I self-reflected instead of somebody saying
mhm,
something to me like, I think this is how you behave. I'm seeing it as a third person. I feel like
mhm,
this is how you are. Is that true? And then I'm like, oh wait, that is true. you
mm,
know Allowing other people to have their input in my life does not reduce my own life autonomy. I always
true.
thought it did. I was always like, I don't listen to anybody else, and I will always make my own decisions. And if it's not a decision that I made, then that means I lost some autonomy in my life or whatever it is.
Mm,
So it's been very interesting for the past year, like trying to take feedback and like all that stuff. Feedback. I was talking to Tisu the other day of like, we were talking about how like for self marketing, you need to be able to speak properly and to be able to market yourself, match made in heaven, or confidence in yourself or whatever it is. I think criticism, I'm going to add that to that bucket of like, I think a well-rounded person can speak well, market themselves well, but then it can also take criticism well. And those three right now are like in my bucket of a well-rounded person, and a good human. But yeah, criticism's tough. Criticism's tough.
I agree. How do you normally take criticism?
Funny enough, this was the topic of my therapy session this morning, but
Mm,
it was, I tried to solve the problem before somebody even tries to talk to me about it, or I try to identify the thing that they could critique beforehand, so that if I already know what the critique is, and then you're telling me the critique, there's no feeling of like fear, rejection, invalidation, like self-deprecation. It's like, okay, cool, I know it, and so you're just telling me something that I already know, and then my ego feels happy. But
mm,
if I don't know it, and then somebody tells me, I think you behave like this, I think this was like an issue, or I think this is like something you did, and I have no awareness of it, then I start feeling that fear, rejection, invalidation, um, upsetment. It hurts the ego, hurts the pride, all that stuff. And so,
Mhm.
and what I've been trying to do is just trying to let go. And this also falls into like the need for control. So like I've been trying to like not need to control everything. Don't have to think about it. Don't need to know like the entire problem and have the solution before I go into the room or pose a question. Or if somebody gives me feedback, I need to be open and listen and kind of think like, I don't even want to think, is it valid, is it not? I just want to say like, okay, accept it. Their perception of you is their perception of you. Accept the criticism based on their perception of you, and then later on, I can process it and feel like, is it like, how does it feel, all that stuff. I try to logic through all of it. My therapist was like, I think you need to work on feelings. I'm like, you're probably right, but I try to
And
logic
you're
through.
like, hey man, keep it to yourself, buddy. Like I don't need
I
that
don't like.
criticism.
I don't feel
Yeah.
good after you said that. So, um, I don't do well with feedback that I don't know it's coming. I think that's like the one sentence answer.
I think it's in a sense unfair and unkind to offer criticism when someone's not asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in those moments where it doesn't feel good to receive criticism when we're not expecting it is totally fair
Mm-hmm.
because again, we didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so it's I think in that sense it's important for that other person that's giving you critique to be more mindful of like why they're giving critique and
Mm-hmm.
when it's appropriate to give a critique
Mm-hmm.
because it's not always appropriate.
Yeah.
There are some people that I've met in my life where it's like, hey, I always try to be brutally honest and just be right there in the moment. And I'm like, I don't think you care about that person enough then.
Yeah.
Because if you genuinely cared about them, you would interpret when the right like timing would be
Mm-hmm.
to give them that criticism
Good point.
versus like kicking them when they're down already if it's like a
Mm-hmm.
negative situation or even when it's a high like when they've just accomplished something great but you have criticism be like let them live in their moment for a second
Yeah.
and then when they are ready to receive criticism then you can even offer if they're like ready for it. Don't even
Right.
just start with the criticism. So I think this is the big thing. So I mean I'm sorry that people have done that to you. It's not
Yeah.
fair.
I mean, it's fine. I think it's just part and parcel of growing up, right? Like whether it's sometimes it happens in a job, sometimes it happens in personal relationships, right? It happens everywhere. I think it's just how you deal with it. And like I said, the way I dealt with it is just always self-critiquing my own actions and behaviors, and that's why like I'm always self-aware, so to like to the minutia, so
Mhm.
that I can be aware of that, and then that's my steel wall. So that's one of the things that I'm actually working on is now, well, not working on, going to be working on is that side of it, which means opening up and being emotionally vulnerable in the moment and allowing yourself to receive things as they come, at the same time communicating, okay, maybe now is not the best time to talk to me about that. You know, maybe like um, let's try and talk about it at a different date or
Oh
things like that,
man,
right?
I love that.
Um, so fun stuff, fun stuff. Um,
It's so important. It's
it
so
no,
important.
it really is. I think I'm trying not to like just rant and like, or not rant but like go off on tangents, because I think I usually tend to, this conversation could have taken me to a different topic and then another
Oh,
topic and then
dude.
another topic.
I mean,
And
we're
so
here to talk, man. We're
we
the
are here to
experts.
talk, but given that when I listen back to these conversations, when I edit them, and I'm like,
It's the
that
experts.
shit could have been like 15-20 minutes tops, and now it's
Man.
40.
Okay, wait.
um
Can I say one more thing about this
yeah,
before we get back on
sure.
track? Um, I just want to support you in what you were saying of like, being communicative in the moment when you are receiving criticism that was unwarranted, to
Hmm.
be able to be like, hey, um this is how I'm feeling in this moment. I don't think this is the best time for me to receive that kind of feedback or criticism, but
Hmm.
this is what I need to hear or be or do right now.
Right.
And then because that person is just trying to, it's just all about like intention and
Exactly.
like so it's like that person's just trying to help,
Hmm.
but then you have to kind of guide them and be like, hey, like this is not the kind of help that I'm needing in this moment, but
Hmm.
I would like this kind of help. And they're like,
Yes.
oh, okay. because I was just trying to help you, and now you've done a fantastic job of
Mm-hmm.
communicating how I can help you, then
Right.
I will do that.
Right.
And then maybe later when you're ready to have that conversation, we can talk about it then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just awesome. I think um, in any type of relationship, friendships or whatever, having that kind of communication, understanding that each person has different timing is it's such a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
Such a game changer to be like just to live in harmony.
Yeah. And I've never been the kind of person who gives critiques or feedback or anything like that. If it's unless it's like just a positive, like great job, whatever it is. I've never been the one to like be the person who gives like the negative critique ever, unless asked. Only for this exact reason of like they didn't ask. And
Right.
so it's like, oh, why didn't you
Right.
tell me this earlier? You didn't ask. Oh, why didn't you do this earlier? You didn't ask. And I'm not going
Right.
to assume that you want my thoughts, words, whatever it is in this moment, unless you ask. So then that lets me know maybe you're prepared and ready for it.
Right.
Things like
Right.
that. Even like when I do a lot of my book reviews, and there have been quite a few times where I'll get either emails or DMs from like indie authors who would like me to read their book and review them and stuff like that. And the two in the past that have stuck with me was I said sure I will, and I pick up the books myself. I don't have them send me a copy. Um, I the it's like I couldn't get past the first 2 pages. It just wasn't written well, unfortunately. But they didn't ask me to send them back my feedback. They said, hey, um, they said, okay, if you would like to read, I would love for you to read my book and like put a review on it. But in my head, I'm like, okay, but they didn't say rip it apart, or they didn't say give me your like. Sometimes they say, I know I can send you this book in like uh, in return for like an honest review or whatever it is. But in those situations where I didn't even finish the book and I got like 3 chapters in, like it just happened last week when I got into a book and I was like, you're giving me a lot of walls of text. There's like no dialogue. I don't like this. I made a post about that without referring to the actual book, so I could get out my thoughts to the general public, and didn't
Mm-hmm.
reference the book or the author anywhere in that sense, because I was like, they didn't ask me to rip on their book. They just asked me to read and review it, but I can't read and review it this
Reading it.
without reading it and this negative commentary on it. So I'm just gonna stay out of it. Unless they were to like come back and ask me, hey, what did you think about the book? Then I would tell them, because maybe they're ready for
Right.
some sort of like feedback or whatever it
Right.
is.
Right.
Um, so that's been a thing in the past of like, and there's a whole different thing on book content of like, don't tag the author if you're gonna shit on their book, and I'm like, you shouldn't tag the author. If people do that, that's so rude.
That is
Um,
so rude.
yeah,
What's the point of that?
yeah,
Okay,
because
so this is
unless the
kind of
author says tag me in all negative and positive ones, never tag them in a negative one.
my gosh.
They don't need that.
Or even if you had that thought, I mean, like what you did, where you just kept it very general and like wasn't even referencing. Um, Before we tangent any further, did you want to come back to a topic that you had in mind? Because if not, I want to plug Judy's book.
No, go ahead and do the book. Wait. As you do that. This okay. One sec. This thing might
Oh
fall.
shoot! Yeah, I saw it tipping, and I was like, I can't save you, bro. This
I
is
can't
crazy.
save you. I can't save you.
No,
Uh,
if that falls, that would be a crazy clip for the podcast.
okay, it didn't fall.
Okay, good. Yes. Okay. So, Judy Liu, she's a young adult fantasy writer. Yes, this is her first book, The Vending Portal.
Correct.
She has a second anthology short story called The Memory Extracts. But I
Correct.
want to plug her most recent book where she just finished her Kickstarter,
Mm-hmm.
where she raised well beyond her goal, which is incredible.
Amazing.
She has a couple book conventions, Imaginarium in DC coming up. But for her new book, Centaurs and Beasts, um, what's
Wait.
going
Okay.
on?
Okay. Just hold your thought.
Okay, I'm holding it.
Imaginarium is sold out, and I really want to go. So if anybody has an extra ticket to this spot or knows of anybody who can go and is selling it, I need 2 for my wife and me. But
Boom.
I saw that festival and I'm like, it's right here. I could drive 2.5 hours and go right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm so annoyed
Yeah,
when I
we'll
find out
be
about these
there.
book festivals and they're just sold out. When I find out.
Um, I can text you about some more stuff
Yep.
off the pod.
Yep.
That I
Done.
think might be a good avenue.
Done. All right,
for
please
sure.
continue about the book.
But yeah, imaginary, and then her new book, Synthers and Beasts. So really, really proud of her. I watched her write it for the last
Mm-hmm.
year. She accomplished that in such a short amount of time, and it's one of my favorite books that she's ever written. So me being her partner, I get the privilege
Yeah.
of seeing her works before anybody else does,
Mm-hmm.
and I, without saying too much, y'all, she is such an incredible writer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have never enjoyed reading.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to reading Judy's Vending Portal, I embarrassingly, I guess, but I have never read a chapter book cover to cover,
Mm-hmm.
ever. Um, Judy's writing just clicks with me. And I want to also be clear. I understand that I am dating Judy, right? And I understand in a world it could be an obligation to say these kinds of things.
Sure.
But I cannot fake my dislike of reading or my inability to read. I can't fake that. So when I tell y'all, I thoroughly enjoy all of
Mm-hmm.
Judy's like works and all the ones that she has in the process right now.
Mm-hmm.
They are so cool. They are
Mm-hmm.
such great stories. She's a great writer, at least in terms of my ability to like really
Mm-hmm.
digest and appreciate and world build in my
Mm-hmm.
mind. Um, so when she does finish publishing Synthers and Beasts
I will
by
be reading
Judy
it.
Liu, yes, follow her on Instagram, Judy Liu author. Yeah,
Yes,
she's
I've actually been
awesome.
following her journey, and I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. I'll get back to that. I just need everybody to understand that Andy is talking to a book reader and reviewer who has a plethora of books behind him right now. And he just said, I dislike books. I have not written a book, and these are good. So I need people to understand that to his book reader friend, he out loud said, I don't like books, but these books are good. He can't, I don't think he could fake that if he wanted to.
Yeah, I cannot. I
So,
can
so that's cool. That's
anyway.
high praise. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to it. Um, but yes, I was actually going to ask, how has the experience been watching her from idea creation to writing to editing to publishing? And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's self-published.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm watching like a self-published author do this stuff, which isn't easy in the slightest. It's
Right.
a lot of work behind the scenes. How has that been?
I just feel so lucky to be able to watch it all happen because it's incredible. It's like it's just watching a genius work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy just sitting outside, just letting her do her thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for the moments that she allows me to bounce ideas off or
Mm-hmm.
listen to a thought she has and offer some ideas in return, I feel so lucky to be able to do that. Just
Mm-hmm.
because I now get to see how the cake is made,
Yeah.
and it's a cake that I love.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like it's this is the most delicious cake I've ever eaten, and now I get to like learn and see the recipe, and even get
Yeah.
to contribute to that recipe. It's so nice. It's so
Yeah.
cool. Um, it just it's incredible to see her in her element in that way, where she is so incredibly disciplined, and to have discipline in a creative art is like mind blowing to me
Yeah.
because
Crazy.
watching her write this, we would go to coffee shops or whatever, and we'd do 3 4 hour sessions where she'd just be zoned in, cranking out work,
Mm-hmm.
writing thousands and thousands of words per week on a
Mm-hmm.
scheduled like creative deadline. And I'm like, the amount of work you're putting in is insane, let
Mm-hmm.
alone the work you're outputting being this good
Yeah.
to being that great. I'm
Yeah.
like, so cool. And
That's
anytime
cool.
I'm like, hey, maybe we'll work for a week or so, and I won't ask her about what she's really doing. And then after a while, I'll be like, hey, well, like, am I allowed to hear some updates? Like, can we
Mm-hmm.
talk about the new
Mm-hmm.
stuff? And she's like, yeah. And or if she's ever like posing like a crossroads in her writing of like it could go this way, it could go that way, and then me getting to hear both sides of that and like not influence at all. I'm not
Right.
trying to like dictate to go one way or the other, but I love hearing her thoughts on if it went with this direction, how would that go? If it
Right.
went this direction, how would that go? And then the way she's able to plan her writing in the present tense, but for future writings as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is wild. She's like, well, if I write it this way, this actually leaves a little door open for like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, more books potentially down the line, not to spoil too much. But
Yeah. No, I think
yeah,
that's cool. I think what you just said was probably the coolest thing about one of the coolest things that I find about writers is their ability to write what they're writing with the future in mind.
yeah,
And sometimes they talk about, well, I wrote this one way, but then I got later on in the book, and then I was like, oh, maybe it's inconsistent. I went back and fixed that part, then I did this, and like
right,
having this, like, you really are creating this like amorphous thing. Like, it doesn't have a shape, it doesn't have a form, it doesn't have any consistency, and then you are giving it structure, timelines, order, chaos, like emotion,
yes,
all this stuff. You're giving this like empty thing that, and then
yeah,
it's just this rectangular thing, and
so
it's
cool.
this rectangular prism full of stories, wonders, and amazing
Yeah,
things.
yes,
So wow, lovely. I need to talk to Judy. I'm gonna reach out to Judy later.
yes. Get
Um,
her on the pod, dude.
I need to talk to her. So
Yes,
that is amazing. That is amazing. Two things.
yes.
First thing is there anything in the past year that you've learned that's changed your mind?
Um, I think there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. But the one of the biggest things I think for me, um, it's more personal. So I wish it could be more universal. But I think I've learned a lot about myself, and sort of what I want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that's just changing my day to day. I think my priorities have kind of been shifted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think it's more like, I guess, kind of more growing up, kind of
Mm-hmm.
more like, okay, well, let's get a little bit more serious
Mm-hmm.
about financial stability, future building, and
Mm-hmm.
being very intentional on a day to day basis of what that looks like versus how I used to be, where I was like, oh, like I am, dancing, I'm making music, I'm having fun all the time. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I am financially stable, but really just to support myself.
Yeah.
So it's just more like hunkering down and kind of looking to build something bigger
Mm-hmm.
so that I can sustain more than just myself financially,
Right.
while also giving myself free time. So I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of entrepreneurial changes are being
Yeah.
made from last year to this year.
Yeah. I love that. I can echo that. And I wanted to ask another clarifying question. There is, did it involve have you having to lessen, stop, or reduce some parts of your life to then continue and increase other parts in this like mindset change?
Um, it has, but it's been very gradual.
Okay.
So it's just like kind of slowly taking steps back in one direction to be able to
Mm-hmm.
take some more steps in others.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the thing about my current situation in terms of my career is that uh, it's really difficult for me to go cold turkey anywhere.
Right.
Like it wouldn't be good to the people that I care about. It wouldn't be good to the business. It wouldn't be very kind, I
Mm-hmm.
think, in any way. So I think I'm trying to be as communicative as possible
Mm-hmm.
in terms of how slow I'm taking these steps, and it's very gradual, and I'm making sure that if I am taking a step back from somewhere, that I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that that spot is filled correctly
Mm-hmm.
and all that. Yeah, it's not going to be cold turkey because everything in my career has been relationship based.
Yeah.
In a creative arts, career path, I think that's the only way it really happens.
Right.
Um, so it's important to me that I don't just like cut things off and that I leave things really, really nicely and
Mm-hmm.
like better than how I found them,
Yeah.
in order to make room for what I'm wanting to do for myself. I'm
Yeah.
trying to be less, to be honest, be less creative and be more um, entrepreneurial. I'm
Yeah.
I'm really trying to move towards that direction because let's be real. I want to make more money. I
Mm-hmm.
I want to have more time for myself. I want less hours and more money. It's very
Yeah.
selfish.
Yeah.
It's so selfish. I know,
Well,
but I'm
I
like,
don't think it's selfish because you're doing it for the purpose of something like you and somebody else in the future,
I
right?
know, but
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like anybody who would deem that as selfish is probably projecting, because at the end of the day, we we need money.
Uh,
And
Hey,
unfortunately we need more of it. We just need more of it, guys. Like
yeah,
that's just how it works. That's just how the world
mhm,
works, is we just need more of it. Like um I restarted, not restarted, but like I reset the website for Fableware. I got up the newer designs that I've been wanting to make. I reclaimed the older ones, and everything's good now and everything. So I'm working with one of my other friends who's also an author. He's starting a Kickstarter for his upcoming book, epic fantasy book, and the designs that I make for Fableware, I made one for one of his previous books that I just made it out of the blue because I wanted it. But
cool.
he liked it a lot. Some of the other people in the Discord liked it a lot. I was like, why don't we make three more, um, for like two from the previous book, two from the new book coming out. We'll have four. We'll have four designs there. You can do like stickers or whatever it is for your readers and whoever they want to, like, whatever they want to do. And so he's like, yeah, let's do it. So I said, I was talking to Ayuji about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go talk with him later about designs. I have my guy. Like, this is the guy who makes all the designs for Vaporware, and I love him. Nobody knows who he is, but I love him, and I found him, and she was like, and I was like, I'll just send him, like, I'll talk to him about it. I'll see if he wants to do it himself or he wants me to do it. And she's like, why would you? What? Don't give him that option. Just do it yourself. You have the contact. You are the person who made these previously. He likes what you did, so you don't have to give him your guy and do it. You just do it. It's part of what you're trying to do
Wow.
as a business,
Yeah.
right? And so keep those things to yourself. And I was like, that's fair.
Yep.
That's fair. Good point. And so,
Yeah.
once again, feedback.
Hmm.
Um, but so it's things like that. Like, you have to, like, I think we've just, like, muddied the idea of doing anything for money, but or as being inherently evil. But at the end of the day, I think we're realistically, we need money in all places. Like, your partner is making books, and she wants to keep writing, but to keep writing she will need people to buy her books, and therefore she has to sell them a certain way, right?
Hmm.
And things like that. You make music, and so you're going to have to make music and then market and then have merchandise and then have to be priced at a proper way to where you don't lose money and things like that, right? Like, so you can keep doing it.
Right.
It just doesn't just magically happen, and you don't have a magic, like, rainbow pot of gold in the back that you can keep dumping into this without getting anything back. And I
Right.
think we have societally just made money evil, versus, like, certain money making habits or behaviors can be evil. But I think inherently, like, we all need money, so we all need to do something for it.
Right.
um and I agree with you, like, changing your mindset to, like, be more focused on, how do I get this to grow, how do I make this an income driven thing that I can also enjoy, so people will enjoy my things, and I will get money out of other people enjoying my things, and it's not evil at all.
Right.
And this was going to be just a random thing, but it kind of leads into what you were saying. Is, do
Cool.
you know how people nowadays talk about the term adulting?
Adulting.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, do you feel like an adult?
Yes.
Have you always felt like an adult when you became an adult?
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to give you clear answers. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go down this rabbit hole. In my spirit, I have a playful spirit. I like to have fun. I don't take things quote unquote seriously. I
Mm-hmm.
do, of course. I respect everything that I'm doing. I'm not trying to make a mockery of anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not taking it so serious to where I can't enjoy it anymore.
Right.
And I think that's probably the best way I've said that so far in terms of explaining, where I'm still very respectful, but I
Mm-hmm.
am trying to have a good time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I do feel like an adult in terms of, um, I think me being a teacher and doing all that, it does place me in a more adult mindset because I'm taking care of other people, and not only taking care but guiding them to their goals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in that same way, I feel like I wouldn't say I feel like a child. I don't think I feel childish, but I feel like I still have that spark. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm still lively. I feel like I'm still present
Mm-hmm.
and not an adult in terms of like what I stress myself out with.
Yeah.
I think the way I interpret other people's view of the word adulting is like Adulting is complaining about bills, complaining about work, complaining about how little time you have to do things that you love.
Mhm.
And that's like adulting,
Mhm.
right? It's like, okay, adulting means I have to sacrifice what I want to do because I have stuff I want to get done.
Mhm.
And I respect that.
Mhm.
That's completely fair,
Mhm.
right? Because not everyone's situation allows the luxury like I have to where I can be creative and still self-sustain, and that means I have flexible hours,
Mhm.
and I enjoy what I do, and I'm still able to sustain myself. Some people don't
Mhm.
have, most people don't have that luxury. I feel like I'm maybe like I'm a super small percentage of people that are able to do that.
Mhm.
So that's why I don't feel like I adult, but I feel like I am an adult. If
Right.
that makes sense.
Right. No, I was gonna say I think your situation is an example of a new age adult, where
Mm,
the previous age adult was house, kids, family, job you hate, and complain about things all the time to your neighbors and coworkers, and you
sure.
pay and you do the same thing every single day and you just kind of die. But the new age adult is, I want color in my life.
Hmm.
So I enjoy this, I enjoy that. I spend less time working, or I spend the appropriate time working, and that's it. And I
And that's
only
it.
and I only do my 8 hours a day, and then I go enjoy life. I don't just wait for the weekend.
Right.
I use my money for enjoyment. I'm not just going to invest it all or save it all or all that is. I use it to bring me a little bit of joy and color back in my life. And
Mhm.
sometimes my wife and I will be like sitting in bed and we're like we're adults. We're 20s. We're in our late 20s, but like why don't we sometimes feel like we're adults? Is it because we're too playful, we're too whimsical, we enjoy things too much? We're like, why are we laughing? Like, why are we like, why do we still feel childish yet we are adults? And in my head, I'm like, I think it's just because we had the opportunity to grow up as children and find things we enjoy, and we keep those things that we enjoy. We don't
Yes.
lose them. We don't have to sacrifice those things that we enjoy
Yes.
for what it is to just like making money and working a job you hate and all that stuff.
My gosh.
So I feel like
Y'all are
you're
happy.
solid. Adulting does
Yeah.
not adulting equal new age adulting equals happy. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, you were the person that I wanted to ask this because I feel like I said, you're already a very optimistic person, but I thought you would bring a fresh look on that term, and I'm looking to change that term for a lot of people. Is like, you are adulting. You are just new age adulting. You're not
Yeah.
old age adulting.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I think adulting has a negative connotation. So, yeah. Or just like just living. I feel like being an adult's like overrated.
Yeah.
Like, like you can be like the word adult for some reason needs to change who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to do that. Just me being me. I
Yeah.
get to
Yeah.
just become an adult.
Yeah.
I was, a baby. Then I was a
Mm-hmm.
teenager. Now I'm an adult. That doesn't mean my spirit has to change in any means
Mm-hmm.
at all. So I totally agree with you, and I support that motion. Let's change the
Let's change.
connotation surrounding adulting.
Let's
Let's
change
go
the word
new age
adulting.
adulting. Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Um. I
Andy,
feel
where can
like.
people? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
No,
Yeah.
you
No.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
You go ahead, because I don't want this, but you go ahead.
I was just gonna be like, I feel like right now, like just slaying in your life is kind of like the new age adulting.
Right.
We're like, oh, I got some new tires. Oh, you slayed, slay.
Yes.
Like you're like yes, and it just makes like
Yeah. You
stuff
could
like
be
that
happy about
fun.
that. You could say,
Yes.
I got new tires. How cool is that? Instead of, fuck, I had to pay 2K for new tires. No, you got new tires.
Oh my gosh, and like, how much of a baller am I that I get to drop two bands on some wheels? Like,
Yes. Well,
you know what I'm, you know what I mean? Like,
well. The
so
caveat is, I can. Do I want to? No. But it is cool. You got new tires. You're rolling fresh. You're
right,
safer. That's
right,
nice. That's
right.
nice.
I'm like, so when my car had major issues, my previous car had major issues. I had to drop 3K on that car,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh man, like that's a lot of money. But
Mm-hmm.
then I was like, how can I make myself feel? How can I flip this into a positive experience? And it
Mm-hmm.
literally was like, dude, what a baller am I to
Yeah.
be able to afford 3K repairs on my car on a
Yeah.
whim. Like a little light turned on, boom, I took it to the dealership, bow, 3K drop, car done. Like,
Yeah.
anyways.
I get that. I get that because I literally last year did the exact same thing in the winter. I had to drop just bands on my car to get it just to be able to use it again.
Right,
And
right,
then we'll see what happens in a year and a half again.
right, right.
Um, Andy, where can people find you?
You can't. I'm just kidding. Um, if you want to follow my dance Instagram, it's Andy of Dallas. If you want to follow my music Instagram, it's Andiepopmusic. It's cute and clever because I make indie pop music. So now it's Andy Pop. It's Andy spelled with an IE.
Yep.
Andiepopmusic. What about you? Where can we find you?
Nowhere.
Boom.
Literally,
Let's be under the radar.
I'm never on the internet.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
am never online, even though I'm everywhere. Enter archives for all the book content and go podcast for all the podcast content everywhere that you can think it is. It's probably there, but it's not on Blue Sky or on Twitter. I stopped using Twitter, so I'm really just on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube now. All
Nice.
video platforms.
Yep.
But yes, Andy, I will leave you with the last question. Last time you were here, I asked you what your one advice is, but now that you're returning, I have a different question for you.
Okay. I was gonna ask, do you remember what I said to that? Do you remember what my answer was?
Mm,
Maybe in post we can bring back a little clip of it right here and be like, this is what Andy said last time.
I'll do that. I'll do that for you. What is one piece of advice that you'd like to give to somebody?
Don't be afraid to fail. Seek it out, even, and then don't wait till you feel ready. Like, just do it.
But something that I've now recently started asking return guests is, who do you see when you look in the mirror?
I see someone trying to do what they want to do, trying to do their best. Um, I think outward facing, I'm a very smiley person. I love being a light for other people. I love lifting and influencing the energy of a room. But I think when I look at myself in the mirror, when it's just me and him, it's like, okay, hey, you're doing a great job. Here's some reassurance, or reassurance. Um, some reminders to always show up as your best self and taking the time you need to be able to maintain that. Um, and while there is not a rush and you are doing everything you need to be doing, let's put a little bit more gas in the tank and try to keep pushing that boundary to get there a little bit sooner, a little bit faster. So, yeah.
Okay. All three of the guests previously have said they just see a man who's trying.
Oh, no way.
You, MJG, and T Soup.
No way.
Which I love. I love because it's a very consistent theme. Is that we're really just all trying. And all you can do is try. But I just find it very funny that in a row, because all three of you guys were returning guests that I asked the question to, and all three of you guys said, I see a man who's trying.
I think this makes so much sense because across the three of us, we are very high level people.
Mm-hmm.
The things that we accomplish in our respective fields, I think we just run shit in every, but we do it from a light perspective.
Mm-hmm.
MJG has breathed a lot of life into me as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not surprised that in this moment we have similar approaches in terms of that answer.
Yeah.
And when I think of T Soup, I think of the exact same thing. I think
Yeah.
of a high achieving, high level person,
Mm-hmm.
but with so much humility and care for the people around him.
Yeah.
To where it makes perfect sense that we all answer that we're all just trying. Because the fact that we all three try all the time and try to our best all the time is the reason why we have achieved so much.
True. Very
Dang.
true. That was so
Dude.
good. So good. Very eloquently played. You're a very eloquent man. Very
Dude.
articulate man.
That got me emotional, bro. Dang.
Let's go. That's the goal. Anytime anybody comes on here. When
Make
I
me
had
cry.
my conversations with my cousin, and she was telling me about a lot of things of myself that I won't get into right now because I just recently got into them. She helped me mold this message of the End Goal podcast, when for the last year since its inception, it was just, I just want to figure out what my end goal, my end purpose in life is, and I just want to talk to people who maybe have found theirs. I can find mine. That's my internal one. But my external one is I want to have meaningful conversations with people about topics I find interesting, educative. So I think this was a very meaningful conversation. And
I agree.
Andy, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you to ours. Thank you for having me. Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Later, everybody. We will see you guys in the next episode.
Boom.